believing that we could spread democracy to places like China by using capitalism as a vehicle to do it, that we could use our investment, our money, to get them to be more like us. I'm sorry to say, what China realized is that they could actually turn that game on its head. What they realized is that they could use their money, access to their market, to actually get us to be more like them. Or even one step worse than that, that they could use our money to get us to be more like them. And it has worked, sending back those Disney movies and iPhones as Trojan horses to undermine the United States from within. The question is, what do we do about it? If that's the problem, what's a solution? It's not all doom and gloom. I do think that not all solutions even need to be found in politics, which is where most people look. I believe that market actors can actually do their part. You got a little bit of a taste of it in the opening video. But it turns out that the three largest asset managers, the three largest financial institutions in the United States today are BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard, who together manage about $20 trillion. That is about as much capital as the US GDP, the largest concentration of dollars in private hands in American history, probably in human history, more than John D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie, Cornelius Vanderbilt, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and Warren Buffett combined, and then some. Because it actually isn't their money, it's the money of everyday citizens, probably most of you in this room, which they have aggregated to then force American companies to adopt emissions caps, net zero standards by 2050, modern diversity, equity, inclusion standards, including racial quota systems in their hiring practices, that most everyday citizens whose money they're using did not actually agree with. That is a large-scale fiduciary breach. It is a problem. It is what we know as the new ESG movement in our country. And it's not just the use of voting power in corporate America's boardrooms. It's even the use of funds that screen in and screen out certain kinds of companies. One of the puzzles of this ESG movement is that it is particularly hostile to oil and gas in the name of reducing carbon emissions. Yet at the same time, a curiosity is that, for example, Vanguard's ESG fund systematically also excludes, by rule, nuclear energy, which is a bit of a mystery because nuclear energy is quite possibly the most promising source of large-scale carbon-free energy production in the United States and the modern West as we know it. And the ESG movement is also increasingly hostile to hydroelectric energy, which is also carbon neutral. So you ask yourself, what's actually going on in the essence of the problem? I will posit to you that actually the climate change objective of the ESG movement has actually nothing to do with the climate. And the problem with nuclear energy isn't that it's not good enough at solving the problem, but that it might be too good at solving the problem, because the E prong of this entire movement is nothing more than a Trojan horse for the S. And if we solved the alleged energy crisis through a form of clean energy like nuclear energy, then we lose the vehicle, the vector through which to advance the agenda that's really at work here, which has nothing to do with the environment and nothing to do with the climate and everything to do with achieving a different E, global equity, and making the West apologize for its sins by holding the West back while allowing other parts of the world to catch up. That is really what this new religion is all about.